everyone, are you looking for a simple single strategy that you can go and apply the next time you go out and play? Well, today we're going to talk about just that, and we're going to be talking about, in my opinion, the second most important single strategy there is, and that is hitting with depth. Now, I want to thank Ryan from 2 Minute Tennis for this idea, and there's a couple things that you need to set up this drill. Number one, you can see on the back court there, I have my percentage posts. My two outside cones are 4 feet from the singles sideline and 4 feet from the baseline, while my middle cone is 5 feet from the baseline. And I just mark that off with my feet. It's really great to have court markers, but today we're going to talk about air targets. And what I have set up is the air zone system from on court, off court. But if you're not a teaching pro, you most likely don't have this. So a couple of ideas that you could use. One, you could go to Home Depot or Lowe's and get those driveway reflecting poles and some caution tape and run it across. And that's a easy solution to that. And you want to run your caution tape about 4 to 6 feet over the net. The other solution you can do, and is if you're a coach as well, you can get some helium balloons from Party USA and blow them up and just have about 4 feet of string there for your air target. Now the problem with that is they don't last forever, right? So the reflectors may be a little bit better solution for you. So those are a couple of ideas that you can use. One of the most important things in tennis is to hit with depth. And so why do we want to hit with depth? Number one, it puts pressure on our opponent. That's the biggest thing. It puts pressure on your opponent. Number one, if you're hitting higher over the net and the ball is landing deeper in the court, there's only a few options your opponent has. Number one, they can back up and try to hit that ball. But if you're hitting higher over the net and it's bouncing in the court, it's going to be higher in the air, so it's probably going to be out of their strike zone. Which leads us into why we hit deep number two. If that ball's out of their strike zone and they're backing up off the court out of position, they're probably going to hit that ball short, which is going to allow you to attack, hopefully, their weakness and move into the net. After all, playing from the baseline and hitting winners and banging out winners is not our job. From the baseline, your goal should be attack and wait for attack by hitting deep, waiting for the short ball and move forward. Right? We don't want to just sit and hit winners from the baseline because that doesn't work. In tennis, we hit in recreational players, and I'm a recreational player too. I hit, we'll probably on average hit one winner for every 30 mistakes. There's a reason why we remember that winner we hit up the line, because it's so few and far between. So playing from the baseline, your job is not to hit winners. Your job is to pressure your opponent, hurt your opponent, look for the short ball, or look for the opportunity to come in. And that's what this drill is going to do for us today. And the reason why we have an air target, I kind of equate this to bowling. I love to bowl, and I throw a hook. But when I go up to the alley, I can see the pins. And if you notice in front of you, there's some arrows in front too on the ground. When I bowl, I don't look at the pins and throw. I look closer to me. I look at my third arrow and I roll over that arrow because it's closer and I can see that. And that's kind of the idea here, right? That's kind of the idea here. You might look at the cones and say, yeah, how do I get there? Well, now we have a little bit closer target, an air target to hit over. It's important to know that when I go through this drill, I'm not going to be lobbing. I'm still going to be driving the ball as best I can without lobbing. This is not a lobbing drill, but I'm trying to clear up over the net. Okay, why do I want to do that? Because number one, it'll stop me from hitting balls into the net. Remember, depth kills. I tell all my students depth kills. So how do I make sure I'm getting depth? Number one, you want to make sure you're bending your knees. But most importantly, you're getting that racket face, your hitting arm under the ball. Vic Braden will say 30 degrees. Get it 30 degrees under the ball, but it's 12 inches at least below the ball to get that lift that you need to clear the net. Remember, Vic Braden says if you can hit a ball 50 miles an hour, 5 feet over the net, it's going to land 5 feet within the baseline, and that's going to make you a very dangerous opponent, right? So when we talk about why we want to hit depth, it puts pressure on our opponent, right? And when you take this idea, when you practice this drill, the next time you go out and play someone, what I want you to do is to hit on average higher over the net than your opponent. That doesn't mean every ball you're going to hit higher than, but every ball that you hit or you get from your opponent, try to hit a little bit higher than your opponent does to put that pressure on them and look to attack. So let's go ahead and see what this drill looks like. Before we begin this drill, I want to talk to you about what makes this drill successful. I don't want you to think about making the ball and getting the ball in the court. What I want you to think about as success is, am I clearing that yellow line or the top of that balloon or the top of that cross construction taper? So when you think about how is this successful, I want you to think about, did I reach my goal? Don't just look at the result. Was it in or out? Because that doesn't determine whether your shot was good or whether your shot was bad. But now we have some focus here. So you're going to see me first hit some of these balls down the middle. Variation number 1, I'm going to be hitting those balls up the line. Variation number 2, I'm going to be taking those balls cross court. So let's go ahead and get started. And you can see I'm not making every one. Down, up. And that's success right there, down the middle. Little low there. Let's try one more. Variation number 2 is going to be having me take these balls up the line. And the idea here is I can see my percentage post, the high percentage, getting my palm to target, finishing high here. And remember, I'm basing the success of my shot whether I'm clearing the yellow rope. It's about 3.5, 4 feet, okay? That's what I have success. If I hit it deep, I hit it deep. If I hit it over that yellow and I hit it wide, I hit it wide, but I'm measuring my success. Am I clearing that yellow? So here we go. Making sure the ball's out nice in front of me. Good early racket prep, okay? And if I was hitting that target perfectly, I can go a little bit deeper, okay? That's a good one. 4, last one. Okay. One more, hit that a little deep, that's okay. Look, I hit that one deep, that's okay, pulled up a little bit. So that's hitting up the line. Hitting it to the weaker part of their body, or weaker side, most likely is their backhand. Hopefully getting a short ball on the next one. You don't have to kill it. It's about depth. It's about placement. It's not about power. Place that shot. And you're going to see here in our third variation, I'm going to take the same thing, and I'm going to be hitting these balls cross court. With my final variation, I'm taking these balls cross court, remembering, try and hit that Ferris wheel cross court, not opening up too early and kind of go circular. I've got to go more vertical and get my palm to my target. So here we go. Again, success over that yellow. Over that yellow, down, up, okay? I've got my nice target, and you can see I'm driving these balls. I'm not lobbing, I'm not doing this. That's not bad, right? High bat, but we're looking to drive that, so I made that still short, but look, driving that ball a little low. So now I got to get lower. There it is, nice depth in the corner there. So there you have it, variation number 2, hitting that cross court. So there you have it, hitting with my slinger bag and looking for depth. Remember, when you go out and play your next opponent, try to hit higher on average over the net than your opponent. If you like the video, please hit like below, subscribe, share this video with your friends, as that's the best way I can grow my channel. If you have any questions or comments, type them below. What did I get right? What would you like to see? This is Nick from Match Point Tennis, and we'll see you next time.